Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna quickly go through, if you will, to go back, watch a previous video, where I was speaking about my reaction post FOMC, and yeah, let's go to that. But let's get into it. What do you call this? Trade of the week or trade of the month. This has been the best trade so far, in terms of risk to reward, and yeah, trust me, this has been the best trade for the month. I've been on a massive drawdown in swing positioning, and this has been the best trade that I took lately. And but let's get into it. Sorry, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So I've secured profit up to almost 1% of my trade. I've secured profit. I love the way the profit is, and this has been the trade of the month for me because when it comes to risk to reward, this has been the best trade. So far, I've been holding this trade from last week to this week, about to end that second week. I just want to see if we're gonna continue getting breaking above, holding that high, continue. So if we get tomorrow to close above, I'm gonna still trade stop loss higher. Oh shucks. I am still gonna trade stop loss higher to those highs to look for higher prices. But for now, I am just watching to see. But other than that, in terms of execution, in terms of market structure, I think this has been the best trade so far. And this is coming out after FOMC interest rate is in today and the press conference. I didn't get time to look at FOMC press conference after the decision. So, but looking at the market's reaction, looking at the dollar reaction to the upside, and looking at what's this? Nasdaq Nasdaq price action just after FOMC. Just quickly go through it so that you can see what I'm talking about. Um, wow, it has totally flipped. Anyway, anyway, I'm just recording this before the end of the show. I had a trade that hit my stop loss, my take profit, sorry. Anyway, this is funny. The markets are crazy. Anyway, yeah, the markets are crazy. So FOMC, we saw the market rallying down to the downside, giving the lower prices that, and that's what saying uh, we might not get rate cuts this year, but we might keep interest rate the same price. So when they had that, he's sounding like we might not get rate cuts and we might only get one rate cut. The market rallied lower, and then immediately afterwards, we saw that move now to the upside as we're coming to market closure. But look at the FOMC decision. So FOMC no rate cuts, market pushed up. During the press conference came all the way down to hold that support, to hold this support, and look at this move. Look at this beast move afterwards. This is ridiculous. How many pips is this? Is ridiculous. So immediately after FOMC press conference, you saw a move from there about 300 and something pips within a 30 minutes move. This was wonderful. I'm recording this just 9:30 p.m. before I sleep. So this is what happened. And just this is purely coming from that we might not get rate cuts. We got that move and we immediately fully recovered. But within that as well, if you look at the Forex pairs and the only trade that I have, um, the only trade that I have right now, the bulls are they're extremely strong. I think look at the move to the upside. Whether you want to look at DXY, there is a good move to the upside. But trade of the day for me, of the week or trade of the week, I should be honest with you. Um, look at DXY. Look at the dollar. We're still looking bullish. We might be coming all the way to this high. And if we still continue getting this three or four bullish candles to the upside, I'm gonna look to trail my stop loss. Remember, I do not have a take profit. I trail my stop loss. And then now we are flip bullish. We're starting to flip bullish. I'm just gonna quickly show you something as we're speaking about this. And let's just quickly go to the EdgeFinder and just quickly do it fastinyana, and we call it a night. Okay. Where is interest rate decision, interest rate projection? So this year, fourth quarter, the projection is we on the final quarter of the year, we might end the year with one rate cuts in the dollar and with 4% of that. And then the British pound and euro pound, we are expecting a projection to a minus 1.9 and 3.9, 3.8% in terms of interest rate. And that to me says we are starting to flip bearish on the British pound and the euro. We're starting to flip bearish, and the other rate cuts might be coming in as we go along the year, the first quarter of next year. But let's just focus on this final quarter for the year as we're trading it. Here's our interest rate predictions. USD 4%, British pound 3.8%, euro 1.9. And I'm not saying that's what exactly is going to happen, but I think there is a high possibility of the market coming back to this price sections here. I mean, sorry, to this rate cuts. We might get a 0.50% basis points on the dollar, and that might still push the dollar higher comparing to the counterparts. So I am going to start to price in personally for no rate cuts or a single rate cut for the year. And then with that, top setups, definitely it just totally changed after today FOMC meeting and Powell sentiments into whether he sound hawkish and bearish. But anyway, if you look at now, uh, look at that. The dollar bulls are coming through. USD CAD bullish, and I'm still holding that bull. Bitcoin is still bullish. Nasdaq, obviously, Russell, obviously. Dow Jones is bullish. I was supposed to have bought that. I delayed buying, and the market might have left me already. On the bearish side, we have GBP, USD, AUD, USD. GJ, GBP CAD, but I want to focus on GBP USD and Euro USD. But for now, Euro USD, it is in the neutral reading. It's not showing there. But let me just only focus on Echo only. When you look at Echo only, it's without looking, we just look at growth, inflation, and labor data. Let's look at where Euro is on this side. Okay, still neutral, fairly neutral, very strongly neutral. But in terms of technical, I am on a focus on AUD/USD and GBP/USD in terms of technicals and speak about what I'm looking for in terms of technicals on the on GU. And I think it's very clear. I'm gonna look already. It looks like we've already flipped. We're holding that support. I am gonna look for a rejection to that high to look for lower prices on GU. I'm starting to price in for that. And then AUD USD, it's also another thing that I think I will be paid that I'll be very watching closely as I have not traded in a while. Where's this guy? Where's this guy? Where's the guy, Manuela? Here we go. Already, I'm gonna look for rejection. We first got our first rejection, and now it looks like we're gonna get another rejection. I'm gonna look for a trade. Look at that. I'm gonna look for shorts on the retest to this highs again, to this resistance. If it comes back to that high, again, if we start rejecting and come back to that high, I'm going to look for price action like this on USD, AUD USD, as it is bearish. But for the others, I'm not even going to just play. I'm just going to be watching closely AUD USD and GU as my potential trades that I'm watching closely. USD CHF is just still giving me neutral reading. However, we held that support and there is another support here, and there's a very strong move to the upside. And even if I were to look at myself, um echo post, there is nothing on it. Let's see if it's bullish. I'm just gonna watch, it's still neutral, so I'm not gonna even attempt to buy that. I'm just gonna watch. Perhaps as it comes back, if it retraces lower, perhaps we're gonna start to get that move to the upside again. But yeah, we have even flipped on this trend line already. And then perhaps if we're to mark all the way down on this trend line, sorry, you could look for a retest to these areas to look for an upside on AUD's USD. And I think this adds the return of the dollar. But other than that, in conclusion, this has been my best trade so far. I don't have a take profit. I will continuously trade my stop loss. For now, I'm just watching. Thank you so much, guys. Do not forget to like and subscribe before you end watching this video. Other than that, I love you all. Have a great day. Bye.